Greetings, and thank you for joining the weekly meditation of Calgary Mindfulness, where every Sunday morning we meditate for 15 minutes on a different topic, often suggested by our practicing community. If you would like to join these meditations live, or if you would like to attend in-person meditations around the Calgary area during the summer months, please email calgarymindfulness@gmail.com. I hope you enjoy this practice and wishing you a wonderful week. Good morning. Welcome to our weekly Sunday meditation. For those of you who watch this live, you may have missed our practice because of the time change. We have sprung forward today. Let's sit together, breathing deeply. And noticing the rise and fall of the torso as we continue to breathe. Sending our awareness down into the feet. Noticing where the feet make contact with the floor. And slowly send our awareness up through the legs. Feeling my calves, my knees, my thighs. Heading upward to the belly. Inhaling and notice the belly expand. Exhale and it contracts. Inhaling, my belly lifts. Exhaling, my belly rests. Breathing in, I rise. Breathing out, I rest. And sending our awareness up into the torso, to the heart. Breathing in, I am safe, I am loved, I am respected. And breathing out, I have already arrived, I am home. Sending our awareness up through the body, relaxing the shoulders. And relaxing the face. Noticing the weight of clothes on our skin. The weight of hair on our heads and necks. Or the cool air that may brush against our heads and necks. Noticing what we feel. And name it. I feel easy. I feel tired. I feel a little stiff. Noticing any thoughts and emotions that arise. Perhaps planning for the day. Perhaps we're sitting with an emotional pain or struggle. Notice any uncomfortable thought or emotion that arises. And as it arises, let's stop and notice 5 things in the room where you're practicing. Sitting with this feeling of discomfort or unease, pain, emotional, physical pain. I see plants, wood, furniture, windows, a sunrise. Now let's notice 5 things we hear, calling to mind the same feeling of discomfort or emotional stress, whatever happens to arise. Let's count 5 things we hear and name them aloud or silently. I hear the furnace. I hear my breathing. A water faucet. My own creaky bones and joints cracking as I move. And the sound of myself swallowing. I hear these 5 things. And just noticing that as we sit in practice, any difficult thoughts and emotions that arise become bearable when we start naming our environment. So this is a handy meditation practice we can bring with us anywhere for self-soothing if we have a problem with nerves, or if you're doing a difficult medical procedure. This is a technique I often recommend to my younger students struggling with school anxiety or performance anxiety as musicians. Let's continue today's practice with a loving kindness exercise. And I'll pick up some of the corresponding thoughts that apply from Lesson 67 of A Course in Miracles, which is what I will be reviewing today in another meditation video. Love created me like itself. Let's inhale and exhale with each of the statements that I'll be reading. Breathing in. Holiness created me holy. Breathing out. Breathing in. Kindness created me kind. And breathing out. Breathing in. Helpfulness created me helpful. And breathing out. And finally, perfection created me perfect. And breathing out. Let's sit with these ideas for a few moments more, breathing in and out at our own pace. If we're distracted from our practice by sounds, thoughts, worries, things to do, let's return to our core idea. Love created me like itself. And rather than pick on ourselves, let's name a few qualities about ourselves that we really appreciate. Perhaps I am usually generous, patient, caring. I enjoy helping others. I enjoy helping people feel good about themselves. I'm a good listener. I'm loyal. Anything that arises where you can give yourself a little pat on the back. Sometimes we're afraid to do that because we think it means we're not humble, or it means we'll stop trying harder, but in fact that's not the case. Stop and recognize and appreciate, be compassionate with ourselves so that we can be compassionate to others, so that we can appreciate the gifts and blessings brought to us by others, even though they make mistakes and may be flawed, as are we. Breathing in, holiness created me holy. Breathing out. Breathing in, kindness created me kind. And with each breath, call to mind any occasions where we are kind. Breathing in, helpfulness created me helpful. Breathing out. Breathing in, perfection created me perfect. I think this last statement is one we all resist because we're not perfect. And of course, we're looking at that highest spark within us, the highest and best. The part of us that's connected to the divine, the eternal, the part of us that is shared with all life. That is the perfection that we come from, and that's what's perfect within us, the spark of God within all of us. Knowing that we are wonderful, that we are connected and safe, rather than dirty, bad, flawed, can guide us to embracing our true power and responsibility of being loving and forgiving to ourselves and others. So I would suggest that's the the best way to view that phrase. Perfection created me perfect. As always, I encourage you to journal any of your thoughts that arose during our practice today. Better out than in. Once pen and paper make contact with some of our more scary or darker thoughts, we are much more easily able to release them. As always, I invite you to continue submitting your questions to me. I love hearing from you in email. They guide our future practices. And wishing you a wonderful week. Thank you so much.